and I started on the wrong scene. What is happening? Okay. Hey, we're live. We're live.
Yeah.
Another day, another problem. Uh, put uh, put the camera on me, please. Put the camera. Put my camera. But change the camera to me, please. Thank you. So, what's up? I'm Stein. This is the SAP, Sonhando Acordado Podcast. Your all 3 days a week podcast that you got 3 days in a week. And today we're here like we are going to be used to get our co-host Apollo.
Yeah. I'll yeah, ideally I'll be appearing here more often, but you never know.
Yeah, that's the first podcast of Apollo in English here.
Yeah.
Just as a co-host and as a guest, as you saw, maybe you should have saw. We got Jay Bratt. You can, yes, Jay Bratt. You can introduce yourself better than me.
I'm Jay Bratt. I've been a VR YouTuber, sometimes streamer, for about 3 years now. It's been an awesome time. I quit conventional work to do it now, so it's all I do, but I don't call it work because I just want to keep loving it as a hobby.
Yeah, I think if you never call it work, it never it never stop being fun.
Exactly. My thoughts exactly.
Okay, we got some people in the chat. We got you in the chat. We got Maurício Mabe sent boa noite. That's good night in Portuguese. And
Nice.
Happy Tammy said, "Hey Jay."
Oh, I know, Temmie.
And Tonic said, "Hey Jay Bratt."
Hey, Tonic.
And Dwayne Zazeski said, "Go Hawks." I suppose that's some kind of team, of sports team. I'm right?
I don't know about it, but I'm going to say yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So Jay, thank you for being here. Thank you for
Absolutely.
accepting the invite of our just new and what's the word for humilde?
Humble.
Podcast. And thank
Ah.
you. Thank you. We're just starting and we really appreciate our presence here.
I'm excited. Excited to be here.
Yeah, we are excited for you being here. And yeah, man, something that you do, and Apollo didn't knew you before, but I knew you,
Yeah.
your videos and stuff, and something that you did for me and for a lot of people is getting like reviews and comparing different accessories
Mhm.
and getting to know, oh, maybe this is the best for you. You're gonna try it, gonna try this and this and this, and you helped me with this. I got the QUER Elite Strap
Nice.
from one of getting to see one of your videos. If I'm not mistaken and not getting confused with stuff, you get a video when you get a person that never used a different head strap from the standard one before to compare it with different ones. That video really made my mind about what I should get for what I wanted.
Good.
So
That's what we love to do and what we love to be here. It's we do a lot of different VR stuff on the channel, but the reviews seem to be the thing that people always come back to or really love because they love hearing my sometimes not so positive opinions of the bad ones, and they know if I like one, then it's got to be good because I apparently have pretty high standards.
yeah, man, I love your reviews. I love your scenario as well. I was talking about it with Apollo earlier. Your scenario is beautiful, like the wood stuff with VR and the katana and the pistols with the VR controller. How it was to make that scenario? Like, from where did you get the idea of doing this?
Well, it's slowly pieced together over time because like the old studio, if you go way back in the channel, I used to have everything in like one room. Like one corner was the unboxing corner, one corner was the green screen. And then as the channel got bigger, I actually moved, like we got an editor and I moved him in right next door to me. So that gave us a whole spare room. And it was like, okay, how do we want to design this? We actually designed it to be a podcast studio because he wanted to start a podcast. And then I was like, well, you can do your podcast in here. We can do unboxings in here and it'll just work out for everybody. But he never quite got the podcast going. So it's become my unboxing studio. So we just, as we get things we like, we add more to the scene. And then this one company that's local here, Moz Woodworks, she made that whole huge back wall. It's all out of like reclaimed wood from pallets and stuff.
Oh, got it.
So she built that whole big wall. I had to bring it in separate pieces to get it through the doorway and then assemble it all behind us. So yeah, it's an awesome space. I really like it.
But it did turn out beautiful because I think the color of the background just like get a really good contrast with the technology and like the skin tone and your hair and stuff. Like I think the color of the wood is perfect. So
awesome. Yeah.
yeah, I really
Makes me feel good.
Yeah, it's cozy, you know. It's like relaxing. Yeah, so you're responding to the chat. I'm thinking you're responding to the chat. You're responding to Dwayne. Bluebell just got in. No. He was here before. We got Bluebell, Dwayne, Happy Tammy, and thank you for everyone, every single one of you, for being here. I really appreciate it. We do a weekly podcast in English. Next week we already got a English guest schedule. He's I don't know if you know him. He's called Virtual Panda. He does content mainly for. Do you know him?
Yeah, I know of him. I mean, I've seen his videos and stuff.
Okay, yeah, he mainly does content on VRCHAT, but he does content or some other stuff. And yeah, I really liked his video, getting content. So next week you got VR Panda. So if you want to see it, just subscribe and ring the bell and stuff, and then all of this bullshit, and just get to see the video. That's important. If you don't want to subscribe, just get here next week and see the live stream. Okay. We get
but do subscribe.
Yeah,
It's not a
do
big
so.
deal.
Yeah.
Just click on the button. Click
Yeah, I'm subscribing like 500 different channels, so you can subscribe more. Yeah, we try to do an English episode a week and 2 other Portuguese ones.
Oh wow, you do a lot of episodes then.
Yeah, well, 3 episodes a week.
Wow, that's a lot. I have a podcast and we do maybe 1 a week. Sometimes 2.
Maybe
It's
1 a
hard.
week.
Maybe
hard.
1, yeah.
Yeah, the hardest part for the podcast, because we're all just everything is set up with this different camera scheme where I programmed this render and these buttons to work through that buttons over there, so it is easier for getting this to work live. And everything is just set up. I can set up this camera in like 1 minute, like versus the thing that we did before, that we needed 3 computers and 3 cameras set up. Yeah, we used to do it in a very bad way.
Yeah, I mean, it worked, and we didn't know it was bad at the time, but it was not ideal, to say the least, you know?
So your podcast, it was different from mine, right? You got like fixed hosts, and you talked about things that happened in the week and things like how it was to do the podcast. And you're still doing it. Right? You said 1 a week or something like that. So how it is to make this podcast? So how it is?
It's been good. You know, it's been a journey, of course, like anything. We had an original producer who actually kind of assembled the team. We had a VR developer, we had me, we had them, we had like another VR gamer, and we originally met in VRCHAT like we're doing here, which was really cool, but it brings a whole level of technical problems, as we saw even tonight. You know, it brings a lot of difference. So over the years it evolved. We still have kind of a main set of hosts, but they vary each week as to which one will be on. And then we bring on a lot of guests as well. We've been interviewing a lot of developers, a lot of VR related job field people lately. We've been doing some really unique stuff. Like we just interviewed somebody who's creating VR tech to take into like elderly homes and help them, see the world still and use it to help activate memories and things like that. And so it's been really fun. We've been doing it for a couple years now. My wife, luckily, she handles most of the like logistical stuff with like scheduling guests and stuff because I'm pretty busy with my channel, but we still
makes
do.
sense.
We try to do 6 episodes a month, but unfortunately that means sometimes 3 of them happen in like the last week if we're behind. So yeah.
Yeah, I get it. So the podcast like an interview style, right? Like you said, you interview people. So you got like written, you got to write questions beforehand and
Oh yeah.
ask them
Oh,
on the
yeah.
podcast. Yeah, I think that takes more time to do than what I do, right?
Yeah, of course, it takes more time.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have a whole thought
Ah.
process of what to ask each guest, So I assume you have like you take in on each guest and you think what you are going to ask them
Yep.
and what will be the nice things to ask and thing like that.
Is it you
Oh,
that makes the
yeah.
questions?
Sometimes it'll be me or Nat sometimes, and you'll pull up their websites and their information, and you'll kind of dig into who they are. And the one thing I feel like that you always want to try to do is like find that question that surprises them. The question they haven't been asked, or you really dig into their background, you find some weird, obscure detail about their life, and you throw them that because it makes people laugh. It makes them relax a little bit. But it's also real, just like my channel. So like we had a VR developer on, and I told them that I didn't really like their game. Like I was nice about it. But I was like, I don't think a lot of podcasts would do this. Like, I don't think this is a thing people do.
What was the game? You can see it here. What was the game?
Yeah.
So it was a game called Squingle, and it's got a
Squingle.
really high. It's actually one of the top rated games on App Lab. And luckily, the
Okay.
other co-host had played it and liked it, so we had him there
Okay.
who liked it, and me there who didn't.
Yeah, so it was
Nice.
evenly balanced, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's really great. What I do in this podcast is that I don't know. I try to not see many things about the guests so I can learn in the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Like I can learn about you in here. It happens that your channel is a channel that I used to watch before I got to YouTube, before I got to making content. So I just did knew some things about your content, right? But some of the guests in here, I don't even talk too much with them in Discord or we just schedule. I try to be as quick as possible to just schedule the podcast and then I don't say anything with them until the day of the podcast.
That's clever though. Then you get to discover it with the audience.
Yes.
So I like that approach too.
Yes, that's the way I like to do it, and it got me more time to do other stuff. I'm investing time in another channel, another project right now. I'm a game developer, so
Oh wow.
I'm making a channel about game developing in VR, like not a tutorial channel, neither just a devlog channel, like a entertaining video about game developing and developing my games,
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
the
that's
way I
awesome.
want to do this, and I'm doing a Shadow of the Colossus clone for VR right now for the first
Oh, maybe you can get Jacksepticeye to play it.
video. Oh,
Yeah.
it would be really cool. It would be really cool. Yes. Let's see. I'm really happy with the planning, but I need to make the game, right?
Yeah.
I'm just done making the model for the first Titan and the climbing basic mechanic and locomotion. This is ready. I think I'm almost done with the first video content, and then I'm just going to edit it and do everything and just post it. Then I send it to you so you can watch it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, this different approach for the podcast are really cool. I really like we have the same kind of content, but the approach to it is different. Like you do like a interview, then like you know stuff before. You just do your research, you do the hard work, and then I just get in here and do all this bullshit,
Also a good approach. Yeah, I like it.
You get to compare the guy like does a lot of research, a lot of things, a lot of planning, and we just go, mark with this guy, yeah, and we'll
Yeah.
talk with him. That's it.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that people are accepting the invite.
I think a lot of people, we want to support pretty much anyone who reaches out to me and asks me to do something. I'll usually, as long as I can schedule it in, I'll do it. I mean, I've collaborated with all kinds of channels and been on all kinds of different things. It's always a matter of time, But if they can make the time work, if they're flexible, I'll always show up because I love being there. And the channel, we've grown quite a bit, but it wasn't very long ago when I remember the feeling of posting a video and hoping it would get any views, let alone hundreds or thousands or anything. And so I know how that feels too. When I think about like, should I ask someone? I usually never did, but it's like, oh, if I had and they said yes, like that would have been huge. So I want to make sure that I always continue to do that for other people.
It really helps us. Like your channel were one what I asked you, and I thought, okay, maybe he's going to see the message. The first wall. Maybe he's going to see the message. Okay, he's seen the message. Maybe he'll answer it. Okay, so maybe he'll accept it. That all these three walls, all these three blocks that we got into it, and I was really happy when you accepted. It was really good. I'm always surprised when people accept it, like you, like Mac, Virtual Panda. You three are the three that surprise me the most because you don't need this. You don't need this. You're just here to help, and that's really great. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I for one was actually really surprised with how many people were like eager to help. Like we send a message to them and they're like, oh yeah, of course, man. And I was like, wow, okay, thanks.
Yeah, the VR community is so helpful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's a passion. We're not here because it's where the money or the fame or anything is. It's because we all love it. It's not like, a lot of people make Fortnite channels because they know Fortnite channel can get huge. It can grow. Where anyone who goes into VR knows it's going to be a much harder road to make a big channel, but it's something that you love. It's something that you do, and that's why you make it. So
exactly.
I think it attracts the right kind of people for now.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. The perfect way to say it. And the chat, like everyone in the chat here, loves your content. Like everyone is praising you in the chat right now.
Well, I announced it on my Discord, so that's probably where that's mostly coming
that
from,
makes sense. Yeah,
it'd be hard for a hater to hear about this and end up here.
So like Dwayne Zazesky said, thanks for doing this in English, and you're doing a very great job. We all appreciate it, and thank you. That's the only way that I can merge the two communities, like that I can make the Brazilian community see your content and the international community to see at least that we have something in Brazil. I think
that we have content.
Yeah, I think that's the only way, because probably beforehand you didn't know Brazilian made videos in Portuguese about VR, right?
Well, I oddly did, because we interviewed a Brazilian gamer on our podcast. She's a big Beat Saber player, Cami VR, and we interviewed her to talk about her experience. And she was in kind of a unique situation because she had met her new boyfriend in VR, and had that like long distance. He was like in the UK or something, that long distance courtship and all that. But yeah, that was actually kind of my first exposure to all that when we had her on.
That's really nice. Like Cami was her name?
Cami VR.
Emmy. Yeah. It was Emmy.
No, Cami or Emmy?
CAMMY.
Okay. Because Emmy is the top one Beat Saber player in Brazil.
Oh,
it is a similar name for a similar VR gamer,
Yeah.
I was surprised if it was Emmy. Okay. And that's really nice. We got that's not the first story that I heard about someone meeting a person in VR and getting to date it in Brazil. Mm-hmm. That's not the first story that I hear about it.
That's very specific.
Yeah, it is. But is it nice that happens at least twice?
Yeah.
Yes. It's VR is a whole new tool. People are finding love in it too. It does everything.
Okay, people are chatting in the chat. Remember to subscribe to get more content. The Apollo every time he tells it to me, you didn't do the call to action. We didn't tell people to subscribe, so I'm doing it right now.
Yeah. No, that's right. You have to do it. Subscribe.
I always
just
forget.
realized we are talking in English, and how do I
Yeah.
actually learn English?
Yeah, so if you're Brazilian and you just know Portuguese and you don't understand what I'm saying right now,
I'm translating it.
you got to just do the live translate.
The live translation, okay.
Yeah. If you're Brazilian
Você é brasileiro,
and you don't know English
não sabe inglês.
and you want to understand what I'm saying right now,
Você quer entender o que esse maluco tá falando?
we learn.
A gente tem o We Learn.
The first Brazilian and maybe the first in the world English course in VR.
A primeira escola e talvez do mundo inteiro brasileiro. Eu não sei traduzir, eu sou muito ruim. Eu devia fazer o We Learn.
And that's the first one, and they are the better. We
É,
learn.
eles são muito foda. We Learn. Curso de inglês em VR. Vai lá, galera.
VRCHAT, you can do it on your PC, you can do it on your Quest. You don't need to have a VR headset to do the course, and they are very good.
Sim.
Hi,
Muito
but I can't see the screen very well. How can I see the screen like you do?
Yeah, if you can't see the screen, you don't need to do the live transmission anymore.
Na verdade, não faz nem sentido falar isso em inglês. O que eu tô falando? It doesn't make sense to do this that in English, actually, because KS Lens is only for Brazilian people, right?
But I want Jay to understand it.
Okay, so
If you're not seeing anything right now, maybe seek help. But if you are seeing our screen, but everything's blurred, and you are on VR for some reason, you can just buy the KS lens, prescription lenses. They are making your life easier, so you don't scratch your VR lenses with your glasses, or
you can see.
or you need to see and you can't fit your glass on VR, or you're like me and you need to use glasses but you don't have one, so you
Yeah.
can use the prescription Actually, I tested the prescription lenses in real life and everything was in HD.
It was better.
Yeah, it was really better. Like I need to use glasses, but I didn't knew that before like 1 month ago. And then I tried to use the prescription lenses in real life, and I was seeing better. I was like seeing detail. It was really weird, actually.
Yeah,
It was like it wasn't comfortable at first. Everything was just too much detailed.
You don't want to see all the leaves on the trees. That's too much for you.
Yeah, no. I don't want to see. I don't want to see like the one stuff that was worse because I was seeing better. I was seeing the anti-aliasing.
Yeah, in fact, it was seeing the aliasing, not the
Aliasing.
anti-aliasing. The anti-aliasing is what gets rid of the aliasing. It's
Yeah.
the-
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
makes sense. I was seeing the aliasing in VR. That was something that I didn't saw before. So it was worse in that part, but in everything else, I'm not blind anymore. I wasn't blind, but now I can see things better.
No, he was blind. He was completely blind. He couldn't see a thing. But when he got the KS lens, now he can see. That's how good they are.
Let's cure this man.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we can get back to the conversation right now.
Was that our sponsor segment?
Yes,
yeah.
it was.
Nice.
Nice that you notice it.
I had no idea. I thought we were just having a conversation.
No.
Out of nowhere.
No. It was a sponsor segment.
Got it.
Yeah, if it wasn't clear, link is in the description. Use my coupon on KSLens and just tell that you came from here and we learn. Links in the description. And
Yeah.
these two are just if you are Brazilian, because if you're out there, KS Lens can send you a prescription lens, and you don't need to learn English from
I
Portuguese.
don't think someone that natively speaks English needs an English course, but if you want to go there,
Yeah, they are talking in English, so you can do the course. Okay. So Jay, let's talk about something.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so why VR? I think that's the
Why?
question. I'm just gonna leave it there. Why VR?
So I was always a gamer growing up. I started probably the N64 was like where I kind of really remember a lot of the good growing up games, Mario 64 and Zelda, Ocarina of Time. And then as I grew up, got into my 20s and started getting normal jobs and stuff, I kind of just fell away from the world of gaming. And I thought it was just, I'm getting older. Maybe I'm just not going to want to continue to game all my life. But then VR came out. And I was like right back into it. I was having just as much fun as I did when I was a kid playing video games. And it sucked me right back into the world of gaming. And I have been addicted ever since. I think I've been in VR for 6 or 7 years now.
So since the
And,
beginning of
yeah.
everything.
yeah.
Yeah, I had the Gear VR that you snapped your phone into
Got it.
and then put it on. And Nat and I would play Minecraft on there together, and it was on a phone, so the Minecraft draw distance was like 50 feet. Like you could barely see, but it was so fun playing that 2-player. We each had like a little Xbox gamepad we connected to the phone, and we'd play Minecraft together on there. And then I got the PSVR, and ever since then I've just been going crazy with VR. I love it.
Nice. That's a nice story. When you just lose the reason for gaming, and then that's a common story in VR. People just stop gaming through the years, and then when you get to experience VR, you're just okay. That's the thing. That's what I need. That's how I'm going to game, right? That's a common story, and that's a cool story because it shows how VR is going to change not only gaming, but it is changing, and it is going to change many things. That's something that Brazilian people don't get yet because it is just starting in Brazil. But VR is changing things, everything, and stuff.
Yes,
Right?
yes, it'll change everything. It's coming.
Yeah, and then you got to play, and when you decided to make your channel, make something with VR.
So a couple of years ago, I was working in management. I was very busy with all my time, and I had just wanted to take a break in general from working. I'd saved up money, and I was just like, I kind of want to take some time off. Nat, my wife, was really supportive of it. She's like, figure out what you want to do instead. And so during my time off, I thought, well, I'll just start a channel while I'm at it. I love VR. I want to share VR, help people with their VR experience. And I thought that would be something I would do to kind of help me fill that time until I decided I wanted to start working again. Then, after time, it started to take off. We got monetized. We started having all these opportunities happen with the channel. And it was like, I don't think I have to go back to work. And it was, that was such a huge moment when it was like, not only was it like, I probably wasn't going to go back to working a job, but like we were looking for an editor and stuff too. It was like, this could really be the future. And now, of course, there's the dream that maybe one day Nat can quit and come work with me too. And of course, that's, channel will have to get a lot bigger before any of that happens. But even where we're at now is just shocking to me. I mean, we get sent different places. I've traveled a bunch this summer all over to see different VR stuff. And it's really amazing what a hobby that I loved has enabled me to learn so much more about it and share so much more about it with everyone, that it's just been a really awesome couple of years.
That's nice because in America, when you have like 20,000 subscribers, like 15,000 subscribers, that is enough to make some money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in here we can't. That's not nearly enough. Like 200 maybe 200,000.
Yeah,
maybe,
10 times the amount of subscribers, and then you can start thinking about it.
Yeah. But that's nice because it is better for you can get more chances. You can get more chances with it. It is easier to decide, okay, let me risk something making this, and then it works, right?
Yeah.
And it is really nice that you could you said you started getting into editors and more people to get to make some things that you use it to make your channel. So that's really nice. That's great. And now that's your work, right? That's what you do, and it is nice to do things that you love to do. It is always
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Quoting,
why do you say in Brazil it would have to be higher? Do you guys get like less ad revenue there? Or is it just
yes.
is YouTube different?
Yeah,
Really?
we can't get much money from AdSense, like the CPM is very
Yeah.
low, right?
Because
Yeah.
if we do content in English, right? If I do my channel is gonna be in English. It is going to be easier than it is in America to live off of this, because $1 is like five
Five.
reais. That's our coin. So
Yeah.
$200. It is enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like normally you would receive like so little money from AdSense, so you would need to do content in English to be able to live in Brazil with only AdSense, like
Yeah.
Okay.
with a small
Because
channel.
people that live in Brazil with ad revenue from YouTube usually have like 1,000 to a million, 2 million subscribers, something
Yeah.
like that. That's the when you can, okay, I'm gonna quit my job and work on this. I think
I mean,
that's
I think with like 500K you can start
maybe.
to
Yeah.
think about it, but not only AdSense. With 500K you would need like something else, something extra, because AdSense it's not going to be enough.
Yeah. So that's a big difference. That's sad, but also I think that's normal here in Brazil.
Yeah. Just how it is, man. It's
It's
just how
just
it
how
is.
it is. Like sponsors are getting paid less from each person that sees the ads, because our money it's less value.
Yeah, it's worth less.
Yeah.
It's
yeah, I
worth
get
less.
that.
So it is normal that we receive less money, right? Okay, so
Interesting.
someone had said something in the chat that I needed to. Okay, it was Happy Tammy. Say, you seen the new Quest Pro unboxing video leak? He's
Oh,
asking
yeah.
you. Yeah, definitely,
I
definitely.
mean,
Yeah.
how could you miss that?
Yeah,
The
you
story goes, though, I don't know how much you've heard about it, but like all of
Yeah.
a sudden somebody leaked these pictures of a Quest Pro box,
Yes.
and then they later dropped an unboxing video showing it off. But apparently they're claiming this was left in a hotel room.
Yes,
this
and
person
it was a
found
hotel
it.
worker.
Yeah, found it, and then of course saw the opportunity to capitalize, leaking this whole thing.
Yes.
I don't know if Meta would go after them for that. I don't know if they'd have any legal grounds to do so.
Nah,
But
I don't
I
feel
think
like
no, I don't think so.
yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like whoever left it there though, might get in
Yeah,
trouble if
yeah.
they figure that out, because that's pretty bad.
Yeah. So Indie VR said obrigado. Indie VR is a American content creator. I don't know why he's saying something in Portuguese, but hi
He's
Indie.
British, not
It is.
American. He's British.
British, right? Okay. Sorry for offending you, Indie.
Yeah, but what you were saying, I do believe that the guy that left the Quest Pro there, he's not very good right now. So yeah.
Yeah, if it
Find out.
wasn't like a marketing thing, I believe it is not. But it makes
could
sense if it could be, right? It could be some
Yeah,
marketing
yeah.
thing, but I believe it is not. So the person that left it there, it's not in a good time of their life
Yeah.
right now. So yeah, that's sad.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie, yeah.
Dwayne said, so should I give you $5? I
mean,
don't know if
it
you're talking with me, but that's like 25 reais. I really,
Yeah,
I
would be nice.
it
would be nice.
We have a PayPal link in the description. My email, I think the email is enough. So if you want to give me money, I would accept it, and that's nice.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Badger said, "Hi, Sty. You're Stypool, my friend."
Typo because you're
Yeah,
Deadpool. Yeah.
yeah. So Dwayne Zazeski said, "Do you have a Patreon?" So
No, I don't think you have.
we don't have a Patreon yet because I thought my audience is so small that I don't think if a Patreon is, we're just on time to make a Patreon, you know?
Yeah.
What's your opinion on this, Jay? I don't think if I should make a Patreon yet.
We had one from pretty early on with our podcast, and you get those committed people that really want to show their support and they'll seek it out. So I think it's never a bad idea to have one. The question is like, do you tailor the Patreon? Do you say in it, basically you're a supporter and we'll put your name in the credits or something?
Yeah.
Or do you try to make exclusive content for Patreon? Because that's a whole lot more work. That can be a lot harder to keep up with
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah, I think about it. I'm thinking about it for some time right now, and I'm going to have more than one channel, and the Patreon is going to be like linked the all the channels. So I think I could make something from each channel for the Patreon, but I think the only thing that I can do to the Patreon right now is getting their names in here
Yeah.
somewhere, because that's what I can do from the podcast stuff, and
Yeah,
maybe
and if you get to the point where you can monetize the channel, that's what I did. You can set up channel memberships, which
Yes.
means I quit the Patreon then because channel memberships are basically the same, but they are also through YouTube, so it just makes it easier to like keep it all together instead of having separate
Yes.
websites. So yeah, we have channel memberships over on mine, and we have people who support directly that way, which is really amazing that they do it. Temmie, who showed up, is actually a channel member, so huge.
nice. So Dwayne, if you want to give me $10, I'm gonna put your name somewhere in here. You're gonna be the first, and then I'm gonna make my Patreon, and you're gonna receive everything the first month without paying it because you'd be the first. But yeah, I maybe I can put it on there on the logo and just get the logo smaller and then put the name of everyone there. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. Maybe on the
Yeah.
table, something like that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see what we'll do.
you see what to do. But if you give me the $10 that you say, definitely just get in contact with me. I got the Discord in there. The Discord is really ugly, but my contact is in there, so you can get in contact with me. So yeah, okay.
First supporter.
For a supporter.
I like it.
Yeah. Yay. I every time that I come back to you, I say your name in that way, that specific way, like, so Jay, what we got to talk about right now? Because we need to get some subjects. We need to get not subjects like how
Can be subjects.
it can be subjects like the themes. We got to get some themes to
Yeah.
talk about. So, do you like some of the things behind me?
Yes, I was admiring your wall here. Obviously,
Yeah.
Ready Player One. That makes
Yes.
sense.
Yeah, makes
You got
sense.
Spider-Man, Rocket League, Stranger Things. The XR thing, is that like a specific company?
No,
I didn't-
no, no.
Yeah.
Exactly. I thought you were going to be wrong, but you're right. That's the company that helped me to build this word, this VRCHAT
Oh,
word.
okay.
So I put their
okay.
names in there. I can transform it into the Patreon wall, or I can make another wall for the. I don't know. I don't know.
You got time, figure it out.
I got time.
But yeah, what things do you like to do, like besides VR and the normal stuff? What do you do?
So just
in your-
what he wants to send me money. 1 second. Dwayne, you can send me money. I think my PayPal link is that's how you guys do money stuff, right? Through PayPal.
PayPal's a common one, yeah.
Okay, so my PayPal email. If my email is there, they can send me money, right?
Yeah.
Like my PayPal email is right there because we have a system called Pix.
Yeah,
that
here in
is
Brazil.
here in Brazil. I think that's great. I think you should have that. All the banks are into the system, and you just make a key for the pigs, and you can use any bank application on your cell phone to send money to any other bank through the pigs.
Yeah,
Oh,
and it's like
interesting.
instant, always works beautiful.
Yeah, like
Pick
2 seconds and the money's there.
So if
Yeah,
they're
it's,
looking for your about, they need to go to your YouTube
No, no, no,
page,
no.
go to your about section,
No, no,
and
no.
that's where your email is,
No,
right?
no, no. The description.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
there an
The
email
PayPal
address
is
in the description?
it should
Oh
be.
yeah, I see it there. It just doesn't look like a link. Yeah. stty.rv
No, no.
at gmail.com.
Down that. The email that's down. That's below that one, because that's the email for the pigs. The people that want to
Oh,
support me
support the
through
channel.
pigs.
Well, I'm learning all about what happens in Brazil now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Tonic, I am going to talk him about it, but after Apollo finished what he was asking for. But
Yeah, I was
uh,
just asking what you do, like what you like, your hobbies, like besides VR, because obviously you like VR a lot, but other things,
Yeah, I mean, I've been married for 7 years now. Nat and I, we'd like to go out. We have places that we like to go hike. Oregon's a really beautiful place, has some really nice hiking. The last few years have been weird with COVID and lockdowns and stuff. We haven't gotten to go do the things we normally do, but we also have like a weekly game night with friends that all come over, and sometimes we play like board games. Sometimes we get all my VR headsets out and we play like
Yeah.
Demio is like a board game in VR. Sometimes
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
play stuff like that together. And I've been trying to work out a lot more lately. So actually, I think I'm on day 46 of working out every day. because we built
whoa,
Oh,
that's
gym.
great. That's like great progress.
great progress.
Yeah. I started
Yeah.
doing it in the mornings, which I never thought I wanted to be a morning workout person, but it is much easier to not get out of it when you have to do it in the
Yeah.
morning. Where in the evening, you're sitting there watching a show, who wants to stop that and go work out?
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really makes sense. Fora da realidade, I'm going to make your question. Just 1 second.
Fora da realidade.
I said it all weird, right?
Fora da realidade.
So,
You
okay.
just spoke Spanish.
I just spoke the name of a Brazilian channel in like a Spanish accent. So I'm trying to work out. That's one thing. I wanna run, like do running exercises and and things like that. But I want to do it with music. And where I live, it is dangerous to get with your cell phone outside. It is easy to
wow.
get robbed, so I can't go with my cell phone. So I'm buying an MP3.
Yeah.
So I can just put the music in there, and just people usually just use the cell phone even in here. That's not all of Brazil. Brazil is big. That's Rio. Rio is dangerous for
Yeah.
this kind of things. So if the guy just get to me and then, oh, pass me your cell phone. So no, I just get robbed. I don't have a cell phone. I can say that.
Just
He's-
give him the MP3 player.
yeah, he's not
Yeah,
gonna want it.
No. I mean, he probably will steal your MP3, but it's just an MP3 plate. It's not
Yeah, I can buy it.
so expensive. Yeah, it's better than losing a phone. But yeah.
Wow, that's sad. I'm sorry that area is like that. That's rough.
Yeah, that happens in here, but I'm used to it. I don't know if that's good that I'm used to it, but I'm used to it. But I'm gonna get out as soon as I have money to live on my own. I'm gonna to move to his city.
Yeah, where I live is like the complete opposite of what he was just saying. Like you can just leave your cell phone on a table in a public park and go away for 15 minutes, goes back, the phone is there, nothing happened. Everybody just always so nice.
It's
Yeah.
like another extreme, like it's
What are you doing, my friend?
yeah,
Good
that's
table
another
dance.
that's another extreme. Like Brazil is big, so we got different levels of danger in here.
Yeah.
But we're going to say something.
Oh no, you had another question you were gonna ask me. I was just waiting. I'm reading the chat through the nose hole here. So when I tip my head up weird, I'm looking at the chat on my monitor.
Oh, right. We got 2 questions in the chat for you. If I'm not mistaken. Just 1 second. Yeah. Tonic asked me to talk to you about the small unboxing knife.
Yes. Have you seen that on the channel? So basically, every time I unbox something, I always advise people make sure you use your small, sharp unboxing knife when you cut open a box because you don't want to hurt yourself. And then I pull out some ridiculously oversized weapon to open the box with.
Like the
Yeah.
katana you have
Yep.
behind you.
So initially, it was just a joke when I first started the channel, and I would pull out an actual knife, but it was kind of a big knife.
Yeah.
And then over time, it kept evolving, and people kept sending stuff to the channel. Like the last thing was that sword got sent to us. Someone sent that because they were like, "Hey, this would be funny," and so we've been using that ever since. But yeah, I think it's time to get another. So now I need to figure out something even
you
bigger,
just
which
you
is
got
getting
a motor saw.
hard.
I motor
Yeah, get a chainsaw out.
chainsaw, right? Yeah, a chainsaw.
Yeah.
That's because in Portuguese the literal translation is motor saw, like motor saw.
Oh.
That
Yeah.
So I got confused.
Yeah, no, it's just been an old joke that people really like, and so they send other things in. But eventually, I mean, it's going to get so impractical. I don't know how I'm going to keep doing it, but at least the sword works pretty well for cutting things open right now.
We got any Brazilian tool that he could use? I don't know if he got
Brazilian tools?
Yeah,
We
I'm
have-
thinking about it.
I don't think I have.
We
it.
have one. It's a peixeira.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's just a knife. Just a
yeah,
big
it's
knife.
just a big knife for fish.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Or killing.
Yeah.
so the next question. Fora da realidade. That's the channel that I said. It's like outside reality VR. That's like the channel name. And he asked a really good question in the chat. Hi Jay, what advice would you give to a boy or girl who wants to open a VR channel about VR? A YouTube channel about VR. I believe the more people, styles, and different ways, and I believe that the more people, styles, and different ways of talking about the same subject continue. Okay, he sent another text. It helps and enriches more people who want to know about VR. Thanks, Ty, for inviting Jay. That's the question.
Well, yeah, I'll give you a couple things that I always give people who ask me about starting a VR channel. Obviously, the most important thing is start it about something you really care about. The passion shows through. You know, a lot of people ask, you know, what channel can I make that's going to blow up or get big? Don't think about that. Think about what do you like to do? What do you want to share? And pick that. And then just upload, just start it. The hardest part with any channel is just getting your first video. I have so many people in my life who want to start a channel and been telling me that for years. Even if your first video is just total crap, just getting it going is the hardest part. And the last piece of the puzzle is don't worry about the growth. Don't think about that honestly at all, at least for a while. I put out 100 videos before I reached 100 subscribers. Like
What?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yep. Yeah, and I was rapid fire. I was doing a lot of Beat Saber videos in the beginning too, which didn't get, you know, they don't get as much attention, but they're really easy to make.
Yes.
But I mean, you just put out what you want. Don't worry about it, because a lot of times people get so upset they work hard on a video and they think it's really good and it doesn't get any views. It's not even your fault. A lot of times that's just because YouTube's algorithm didn't like something you put in the title or something. So you just can't worry about that. You just keep posting, have fun, and if your channel takes off because of that, awesome, you know. But if it doesn't, and you always still enjoy what you're making, you'll still like it regardless of how the videos perform.
Yeah, I can give you an answer from the perspective of a person that just started VR, and fora da realidade, like the person that asked this is someone that I asked to come here to the podcast. It's a guest, and then but he said he knew me beforehand. But the thing that I have to give, if you want a tip from me as well, the thing that I think it's the better to do, it's what you like the most. And that's cliche, but that's the truth, because I was doing other content before starting with the podcast. It was always my plan to start a podcast, but I started doing standard VR content, like good produced one. Like I spent 1-2 weeks for every video, and the videos were going well. I got through many friends and family. I got the 100 subscribers in the first video, but it wasn't organic.
Nice.
It wasn't organic.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't through YouTube. It was through
Yeah.
WhatsApp. That's the messaging app that we use in Brazil. WhatsApp and Discord and friends and family. So most of the people that were subscribed are not even subscribed anymore, or they are subscribed and are not watching the channel. And the next 200 subscribers that I got were after that, when I started to do my content. And when I was making the first type of content with standard videos about games and lists and stuff, it was nice after uploading the video, but the process of making it, I was just uh, postponing it, and I wasn't with the motivation to do it. And when I started making the podcast, I could make more videos a week, like videos,
Yeah.
with the podcast, like 3 a week. That's how much I'm doing right now. I started with 2, I think. I think we started with 2 a week.
Yeah, we started. No, actually, we started with 3 a week. Then we downgraded it to 2. Then we went back to 3.
And when
'Cause-
we got back to 3 was when I decided to just do the podcast. And the
Yeah.
views are up, the watch time is higher, the motivation is higher. I spent all day looking for people to invite and getting to know more about the community and get to know people, and it is fun for me. It is like it is better for me because I get to know more people. I get to like talk with you, and so what I'm trying to say is do what it is fun. It is going to work best.
Yeah. Basically, if you start doing something and it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. So do what you like to do, you know?
Yep. Do what you're passionate about, and yeah, then it doesn't also feel like work. If you were to make a channel on something you didn't love, it would just feel like work the whole time, and
Yes.
you'd probably get burnt out, and you'd probably quit.
Yes,
And
exactly.
if
And
it,
that's
if it
what I
feels,
did when I was working at game development.
and if it feels like work and you don't like to do it, you probably will do it like worse job at what you're doing, and
Exactly.
so it's not good.
When I
Yes,
was working at game developing at a small indie studio, I was doing what I thought I wanted to do. But after 7 months working there, I just wasn't being as much as productive as I were in the first month, and that's expected for some works. But game developer, you need to do your best every day, because if you don't do this, like you can get some bad days, but if you don't want to do your best every day, the product that you end up making is not going to be good, and you're not going to work well. So I was like, in 2 weeks I could make what I was making in 2 weeks in one day, if it was like when I entered the studio, you know. So do what you love if you can.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course, because sometimes it is harder to do what you love. You have to maintain some money and get something every week, so you just don't die.
At the end of the day, people gotta eat, you know? So yeah,
But every time you can, do what you love, even as a hobby, until it becomes your work, your passion. You know. I think you agree with me, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So Dwayne Zaziski, I asked Pedro to send my Discord, so he sent it. You can add me there, and you asked what do I search for? I don't know the show I'm watching right now. What do I search for? SAPodcast. SAP, that's the name, and podcast at the final. Yeah, SAPodcast. Or you can search STY. If you search STY, you're gonna find it as well. STTY. That's my nickname. Okay, we did got into a really
Really, what?
You're leaving us all
What did we
hanging here
get
on a
in?
cliffhanger. I'm like scooting up to the edge of my seat waiting for this.
Like, anticipation. What you gonna say?
So let's
You
talk
got
about
me in a
something
really-
funny. Let's talk about something.
Vibes, yeah.
Yeah. What were we talking about before? What were we talking about? Something in the wall. Something's in the wall. Ooh.
Oh yeah, we can talk about something here.
So you talked about Rocket League. Do you like Rocket League?
You know, I actually haven't played it, but my editor plays it, and I've seen him play it some. It looks cool. I'm not sure that I have the coordination for a game like that. It's like so fast paced, and it's all team based and stuff. I just feel like I'd be dragging my team down, so I haven't tried it.
Yeah, Rocket League is a weird game because there is not many other games that you can play to prepare you for Rocket League.
Mhm.
Because it is really different from everything that we got in standard game like flat screen gaming, because it is all physics based and you control all like axis of the car, and the movement is pretty limited. To pass the ball, you need to hit the ball in a certain angle with certain strength, and not like in FIFA press A, right?
Yeah.
And I like that we got the Rocket League VR genre, right? We got the games that are like Rocket League VR.
Mhm.
We got Knock and Mecha. What's the name? Mecha. What's the name? Ultramax.
The Mech
Ultramax.
Warrior game.
Ultramax.
Ah,
The new
yeah.
game. That's Ultramax. And maybe Echo VR. I like that we got
Oh.
the Rocket League VR genre, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Knock is supposed to be the closest one everybody keeps saying. I haven't tried it, but like you have bow and arrows, but it's the same kind of physics based team.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Knock's very much like Rocket League.
Yeah,
Like,
it is the
yeah.
closest one that we got. And flat screen gaming, flat screen gaming for you, it isn't as big as it once was, right? You're all into VR in gaming, right?
Yeah, yeah. I recently played Super Mario Odyssey, actually. But I very rarely play flat games. But I played that one because I really liked Mario 64. I was trying to get back some of that magic.
Yeah.
And I found a little bit of that magic in that game, but it's pretty rare that I want to sit down and play a flat game.
Right. That happens with some most of the people that we talk, right?
Yeah.
I think most of the people's just transition to VR gaming, and that's interesting. That's really interesting. And what do you like to see? Like what kind of movies and series and stuff do you like to watch in your free
Oh,
time?
we just started one on Hulu called The Patient. Steve Carell, one of the guys who was in The Office,
Okay.
basically, I don't want to give away any spoilers here, but basically he's a therapist and he's taking on like a psychopath patient. It's really interesting.
And it is not comedy, right? Because Steve
that is-
Carell
no, it is
usually
intense.
does comedy, right?
Yeah. But speaking of course, we watched The Office about 1 billion times. I think the last count, Nat and I think we've watched all the seasons like 12 times or something. Just
Holy.
ridiculous. Way too many times.
Yeah.
We just watched Stranger Things season 4. Actually, was still on season 2, but we caught up through all of it. That was fun. Yeah, I see a lot of comic book movies up here. That's the one thing. I don't watch a lot of the Marvel movies, unfortunately. I really liked like when they first started, like Iron Man and stuff. But I feel like the whole universe just got so big that I feel like I'm out of
Yeah.
the loop every time I try to watch one now.
Yeah, that happened with most people because they are getting into the comic way of doing things. Like everything has their own core narrative and the big picture. To understand every single thing from the big picture, you need to watch every single movie and show. So yeah, that really got people away from the Marvel movies.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
but
lot.
I
It's a
still
lot to
love
take
I
in.
still love it. I have the time to watch it because I didn't have I never stopped watching, so I can get 20 minutes a week to watch an episode of She-Hulk.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's nice. We don't have Hulu in Brazil. We don't have
Oh, I didn't know that.
so everything from Hulu. Neither either is in another platform or we can't watch.
Ah, that's too bad.
That's really sad. That's really sad.
Yeah, I've been watching Hulu since it like started way back when no one even knew what it was. And it was like it was really good quality even back then, but the internet speed a lot of times couldn't keep up with it. But yeah, I started watching it, man, so long ago that there was like one 10-second ad at the beginning of any show, and that was it. There's
What?
nothing more. Yeah,
What?
good old
Okay.
days.
Good old days. So we have a message from the Wayne Zazinski for you. Said, I really Jay Bratt, I Jay Bratt really appreciate Jay Bratt, I really appreciate your reviews and all the games and products because I feel you're about the same. You're about the same. Do you know what I'm saying? Is me and it works
Mhm.
for me. I didn't understood, but maybe you got what he was trying to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah,
And
it's saying our
he's
opinions match on a lot of these
okay.
things, and so my advice is helpful. And I feel like I try my best to, it's not always even just my opinion, but what I know of what other people want and are looking for, I try and cover all that in the videos, because there's even products that I've said, personally, this isn't for me, but if you were in this situation or you're this person, maybe you would like it. And I'm really glad to hear that that works that way for you because I try to make sure that anyone who comes will learn something, even if
Yes.
they don't agree with me, at least they'll learn something about the product that tells them whether or not it's going to work for them. Because that's always my main objective in the reviews is just help people know enough about to make their own decision.
Yeah, and he said he really appreciates our opinion on most things and hell, all things in VR. And and they said again, I cannot see enough of these. Come on, I cannot say enough about this format. Absolutely love it. I think he's talking about your videos.
I think actually that one might have been specific to this too, because earlier Dwayne was talking about wanting to support how your podcast and the way you're doing this. So that might even be to you, because
Maybe,
yeah,
maybe.
it is cool. And I gotta say, you actually the way you're doing with the additional cameras and stuff, this was like always a dream of what we tried to do with our podcast, but it was so much work unless you had like a dedicated
Yeah.
camera person like you do.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
much work to like change the camera angles and keep it exciting. And you're doing a really
Exactly.
good job here. So
Yeah,
I'm
it-
impressed with that.
At first, Apollo was our camera guy, but it was the plan for he to get to be the co-host.
yeah.
Nice.
And now that we can put any person, have it the VR headset or not, it is easier to get someone to help
Yeah.
us. So Pedro is doing just to help us. He's not getting anything back. So
Aw, thanks, Pedro.
Not like
yeah,
we get
I'm on
anything
his
at all.
basement, locked up. Help me. Raise a hashtag on Twitter, please.
Okay, now you're talking about the show I'm watching.
But
The
yeah,
patient.
What?
This is.
so I think
I'm
that
trying.
that's based on a book, isn't it? That is based on
I
a book.
don't know. That would make sense though.
I think
All
it
the
is based
best
on a book,
shows or movies.
and my girlfriend read it. I'm really sure. Let me search it. Keep no. Get on his camera because I'm going to do some weird stuff in here. So,
yeah, he's gone.
He's gonna try and find out the truth here. I'm curious now too, because I feel like so many of the best movies, the best shows, they're always based on books. You find out, and it makes sense too because it just means they have a plan and how they're gonna build towards it.
Yeah, normally,
Not
right?
Yeah, unlike
Normally
Game of
the
Thrones, where it's like they passed the books and then they had no idea where to
yeah,
go
yeah,
from
yeah,
there.
and that was the main problem, right? Because when
Yep.
it was based on the books, it was going right and it was
Yeah.
all good. But then the books ended, and they just like, yeah, we gotta keep doing it, and that was not the right call. Was not
No,
the right
no, it
call at
was
all.
not. It really went off the rails there.
books. Yeah.
No, I think the book is called The Silent Patient and not The Patient. So it is
Okay.
another thing and not at all related.
You never know though. Sometimes they rename it, but yeah, the show's really cool. I wish there was Hulu there. Now I feel bad for bringing it up.
No, we can just uh, download it in other not as legal ways.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't be able to, but we can.
Yeah, no,
We
that's
can.
that's
Well,
that's
pirate
what we
actually.
always do because not everything is in Brazil, so we always do this. That's
That
normal.
makes sense. I
Yeah.
understand.
I wanted to see the movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, so you saw it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw
You
it.
downloaded it. So
Yes.
good.
Yeah, we
So
can't.
good.
It is in none of the Brazilian streaming platforms. So, and we can't. You can't just get it on YouTube or something like that. Amazon. You need to. Yeah, you can't see in Brazil. So
can't, yeah.
we needed to download it.
Yep. Yep. That was a good movie though. I really enjoyed it. We went and saw it twice in theaters.
Yeah, it wasn't on theaters as well in Brazil.
Yeah.
But it was a great movie. I must say, I must say, one of my favorite movies because that's really my style of things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I really loved it.
I gotta say the first time I was watching it, at the beginning I wasn't really sure if I liked it because I was like a little lost with everything happening. But by the end of the movie, I enjoyed it a lot. So
The
yeah.
way that we were seeing it, we got two types of subtitles to two different things. When the characters were talking on Chinese, the subtitles were on English, and when they were talking on English, the subtitles were on Portuguese. So
So we just basically ignored the Portuguese ones and focused on the English ones. You know?
that's
Nice.
not a thing everyone can do in Brazil. So it's really difficult to access this movie in Brazil.
And if you can't do that, it's because you haven't been doing what? It's not on the screen,
It's
but
not
you
on the
should
screen.
go to We Learn to
We
learn
learn.
English.
You need to learn English so you can do stuff. It is
Yeah.
important to do many stuff like many of the stuff you need to do in life. Many of this you need.
Yeah. A lot of things, you know, like just things. You need to know the English. to-
that. There's a thing when you need to talk in English, and there's other things that you need to read. So
Yeah.
you should.
English good.
I always feel bad about that though. It seems like so many places you go, everybody expects them to be able to speak English, but I'm like, that's not really a fair expectation. We in America should learn some other languages, but like people here barely. You might know Spanish, but beyond that, it's
Yeah.
not like
I think
it's not like a lot of countries.
I think the language that Americans should learn is Spanish because it's the
Mhm.
maybe the second language speaks in a higher number of countries. You know, like English is the language that is speak not the most speak language. The most speak language is Chinese because China is huge.
Of course.
Yeah.
But the language speaks in the most countries, and I think Spanish is right behind English. So
Ah.
maybe that's the second the language that Americans should learn. But it makes sense to everyone to learn English because, like I said, that's the language that most of the countries in the world speak. So
Yeah,
if you
it's not like everybody wanted English to be the main language of the world, you know. It just so happens to be. Everybody in most countries know how to speak English. So yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, we got really surprised when we asked Virtual Panda, and then he said he was fluent in Portuguese, and then
Oh.
we started talking in Portuguese with each other in Discord, and that really caught me off what's the expression? Got me off
Off
hook?
guard.
Off guard.
Off
Yes,
guard.
yes,
Uh-huh.
that's the expression.
So are you
That-
gonna do that episode in Portuguese then?
No,
That would be pretty
it's
cool.
Nah.
maybe
Do it in
we're going to
English.
speak a thing or two
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Portuguese, but mainly in English because that's the way his audience knows him,
Mhm.
right? So that's
Mm.
the way we should talk to him.
We can
You
we
got it?
can have a couple of minutes talking in Portuguese just so the American audience doesn't get what we're talking. But
Yeah, that's always fun.
yeah, yeah.
Dwayne said, what? Get your ass to the Pacific Northwest for 1 week, and I can hook you up with all the shit that you guys ain't getting. Maybe. I'm scared. I don't know.
Yeah, that
But
sounded like some shady invitation right there. I
yeah,
don't know if
but
I like that.
maybe.
Wait, Dwayne, are you also in the Pacific Northwest? Because that's where I'm at.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think he's in your house and you don't know.
I wouldn't know. I'm in VR. I can't see.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
he's just
should be
right
careful.
behind you right now.
Typing in chat on my computer while
Yeah, on
Yeah.
your computer. He's using a virtual machine so he can access in another account. That's what's happening.
Makes sense.
But yeah, it makes sense. So people in Brazil should learn English, and you guys shouldn't learn Portuguese. Like, that's not that you shouldn't. That's not that you shouldn't. But you don't
You
like.
shouldn't. You shouldn't. You don't do it. You're going to die if you do. No, yeah.
It is not like you should learn Portuguese, right?
It just wouldn't
Yeah,
be as useful
it's
as
not.
Spanish or
Yeah, it's not
Mandarin.
needed for you to learn Portuguese. Portuguese is only used in, I don't know, 3
Like,
countries.
No, more than 3, like 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's not very useful. Spanish
Okay.
is way more useful.
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
to learn Spanish.
I won't.
I was taking some classes actually in VR on Spanish recently.
Oh.
There's an app called Immerse. They're trying to have tons of languages in it, but it's new. And right now their main language that they speak is Spanish, but you go in and like learn. It's trying to put you in like real life situations. So like you'll go into like a kitchen and they'll be talking about cooking and the ingredients and stuff, or you'll go outside and they'll have you give directions from like one building to another in Spanish. It's a really interesting concept and it works really well. The problem is it's a lot of money. It's like $40 a month to have this app.
Right.
Holy.
So it's just
So
it was
Oculus
expensive.
is launching an app called Library or something. Library VR.
Librarium. Not just
Yes.
tried it, yeah.
Yeah, I need to try this app because I was learning Japanese, and you can just upload some flashcards from your cell phone and get some books. I really liked the app. I was skeptical at first in the start of the trailer, but as the trailer was going on, I thought, okay, that seemed like a nice app, right?
Yeah, Nat tried it, and her problem with it was it's $20 for the app, but then if you want to like buy the flashcards that other people made, the community members, you have to pay more money for that. So it seemed like you were kind of paying a lot for it. It seemed like the app should have been free, but then you could buy the cards from people, and that would
Yes.
be the way
Like
to go. instead of
a
paying for both.
player-based market, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just like ended with all my
I just ruined your hope.
yeah I don't.
I'm
I-
sorry. That's
I'm
what I
not
do
gonna-
as a reviewer. I just crush hopes and dreams.
I'm not gonna try the app anymore.
Literally his job.
Just bring you those horrible facts that ruin everything you were excited for.
Dwayne asked, Jay Bratt, are you familiar with Puyallup? I didn't get it. Like Puyallup.
What? I don't know what this is.
Is that in the chat? Is that where
Yes,
this
it is in the chat.
Are you
Searched.
familiar?
It's a
it must
city.
be a. Oh,
It's a city.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
in
find
Washington.
the question in chat now. Oh, in Washington? No, I'm about an hour south of Washington. So yeah, I'm not terribly far from Washington, but I can't find this in chat here. But whatever it is, it doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I know. Of course, I know Tacoma and Seattle. Oh, okay, Puyallup. Puyallup. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
that place, but yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
actually might be in Seattle here in the next few months. There was someone we interviewed on the podcast who's making these mixed reality I don't know what the heck you call them exactly. They're like arcade machines kind of, but
Okay.
like so like you'll be jumping on a trampoline and you'll see yourself inside of a game like Donkey Kong where when you jump on that trampoline your character jumps up levels on it. And so you're
What?
jumping back and forth, dodging shots and stuff, and the closest locations are in Seattle. So we might actually go up there to check those out.
We don't have this cool stuff in here.
Yeah.
I know.
No, so
That
sometime I'm
sounds
going
pretty
to
cool.
sometime I'm going to America and try all of the shit. Try everything.
Everything.
You should.
Just
You
all.
should go. If you go to Texas, Texas is like in the south still. It wouldn't be as far of a travel, but there's tons of amazing stuff like that in Texas. We were there a year ago, and they have all kinds of cool stuff there.
Okay, that's really nice. Like the closest thing we have to a VR arcade, like it is a VR arcade, but it is really small and it's in the biggest city of Brazil. I think São Paulo is the biggest city, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So São Paulo got the a VR arcade. I have the contact with the owner of the arcade, and it's just like 4 or 5 Quest shoes and some PSVRs with arcade
yeah.
stuff with
I
I don't remember how I call it.
Driving racing wheels and stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that there was a VR arcade in Brazil. I didn't know. I thought we didn't have one. So yeah,
Yeah, we got one. But
One. we
um,
have one.
yeah, the cool thing about this one is that he developed his own game in there that uses the play area, like the Guardian area, like VR pair, like that Pirate Space game thing.
Uh-huh.
That you got a play space to play with some
Yeah.
people, and this one is like three versus three with 6 headsets, and everyone is the same arena. It
Oh,
sounds
that's
nice.
nice.
That's really
Yeah.
nice. That's why I wanted to get him on the podcast, but I sent him a message 3 months ago, and that's what happened so far.
Yeah,
So
we stopped there. Sent in a
yeah,
message
yeah,
3 months ago. That's it.
that's it.
Yeah, there's a place here, it might be what you're talking about, Zero Latency. It's actually based in Australia, but there's tons of locations all over the world. And that's a place that has, you wear the backpack PC or you wear a fully wireless headset and you walk through a huge arena, but you're seeing a whole different representation in your headset, obviously, of what that world is. You're
Yeah,
either in
that
some
must be so cool.
It is really cool. We've been to a couple of them now and tried all their experiences, and there's one that's a PvP game though, so you can go 4-on-4, 3-on-3, 2-on-2, and you have different objectives and you're against the other team, and it's really fun. Yeah, there's a couple videos on my channel about Zero Latency, but it's a really cool location. There's a bunch of them in Texas, so yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish we got more of this stuff in Brazil, but VR is just a
It's
little
too
baby in
expensive.
Brazil right now.
It's too
Yep,
expensive
yep.
to probably to have those, because you gotta think like the people who make these, they gotta buy the VRs and all the PCs and all this stuff, and technology is just too expensive here for it to be profitable, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like it is crazy expensive in Brazil technology. Like, sorry for being a little weird right now. I'm just getting into my PC to get into some sites, but technology in Brazil is like you get the price in dollar and you multiply it by 10, and
Oh,
that's the
wow.
price in reais, and that's the number in reais. Like a PS5, $450, right?
Yeah, it's basically that.
And in Brazil, it is for how do you say that? 4,500, right?
Yeah, 4,500. Yeah,
4,500. That's the price in
Wow.
reais. So
and the minimum wage is
is the-
1,200.
Yes.
The minimum wage is 1,200 reais, and
Is
the
that per month?
Yes. Per
yes,
month.
1,200 reais
Okay.
per month, and you get you need 4,500 to buy one PS5.
Wow. Okay. See, that puts it in perspective better, because I mean, 4,500, that could be a different translation. But when you're talking 1,200 a month, I mean, minimum wage here,
Yeah,
you'd be making $400 a week. So I mean, technically, in a week, you could buy a PS5 here. Technically,
Yeah.
where for you, that's like 3 or 4 months of salary to buy a PS5. That
yeah.
is wild.
And
That
it's
is
three
a
or four
huge
months
disparity.
disregarding all the other stuff you have to buy, like food,
Yeah.
water, and
Yeah.
house, and pay rent and all that stuff. So yeah, if you put it in perspective, I mean, realistically, if you just save for a PS5, I'd expect someone to like saving about 6 to 7 months before a person can buy one. So yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really, really expensive.
That is
Uh,
expensive.
yeah,
I think we
that's
got a couple more questions in the chat if you can see those.
yeah. I was going to talk about
Nice.
it. Dwayne as let me ask once again. Any comment from Jay Bratt on a Finding Sasquatch game?
Is there so I wonder if they're saying hypothetically, or is there a game that's coming to VR that's about finding Sasquatch? 'Cause that'd be a
I
fun game. I would love that. One problem that I have, because I think the other question was, are we going to do more gaming videos on the channel? And one problem, just as I was talking about with YouTube earlier, because for so long we've done reviews of stuff on the Quest and products and news, we have found that when we try to post a video that's about Quest gaming, YouTube will not spread it at all.
yeah, I
Like,
think
I
you need to
posted,
get some secondary channel for that kind of stuff, right?
yeah. That's why I've been thinking about going on Twitch and gaming just live on there, because I used to live stream quite a bit on YouTube and I enjoy that. But we do so many videos on YouTube now, I don't want to flood it with more live stream stuff. So I was thinking about taking the gaming over to just Twitch for fun. I just haven't started yet because John and I are in the middle of something really big. But I want to do that too, because I feel like I miss the gaming side of it. Like, I play games on my own, but I don't post videos on the channel, because like I posted one and it got like 50 views or something. And then, like,
Wow.
and
Well,
it's just like, I love doing it, but it's when it comes to it down to it, like, gaming videos are a lot of time to edit and work on. And for YouTube to just suppress it that hard, it's kind of depressing to like try to put all that work into that video to see YouTube just crush it. So yeah, I'm in kind of a tricky spot with the gaming side, but I think Twitch might be the answer, because I like that. It's fun. It doesn't take all the editing. I can just do it with everybody on the spot. So my
yeah.
hope is to get that going sometime in the next 6 months, maybe.
Yeah. This makes sense. This makes sense. And that just answers the next question. That is, if you are going to post any gaming videos on our channel. Okay.
Yeah.
So Dwayne made a question that I did not understand, and I think that's because okay, I'm gonna make the question, and some of you guys just explain it to me. He asked, "You guys hate spell check as much as I do," and you get I don't know what spell check is.
So that's like
Okay.
autocorrect. So if you were to try to type a
Ah,
word and it changes it to some other word because it thinks you
okay,
meant
okay.
that.
Oh, okay, so that makes sense with the previous uh, comment that he said. So far, you are doing Brazilian. We are very proud.
Yep. That was not what they meant to say. So they were pointing out the spell check messed it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dwayne was saying VR needs a Finding Sasquatch game,
Yes,
like a
I
game,
agree.
a game where you just go into the woods to search for a Sasquatch.
Well, there was one Jacksepticeye and Markiplier played. It's not VR, but it was like a you hunt Sasquatch down, like you're at a camp in the woods and you can like get different equipment like cameras and trail sensors and stuff like that. But it turns into like a horror game. So yeah, I think that'd be really fun. I've been playing a game called Into the Radius a bunch this weekend that just came out on Quest.
Yeah.
And there's something about the environment of Into the Radius where you're out in this like post-apocalyptic kind of woods in the forest and stuff, and it's so creepy. So thinking about like that environment but with Sasquatch out there somewhere, that would be a very good game. I agree.
Okay. That's nice. I think I'm gonna make one.
You're gonna make one.
Okay,
I'm gonna
okay, there
make
we
one.
go.
So
There's
that's
the
the thing.
solution.
I'm gonna do some teaser of my channel right here. Explain it. What's going to be the channel? The channel name is STTY'S channel. That's because that's my channel in English. So STTY'S channel.
Very original.
Very original, right? So what I'm going to do there is first making the games that I want. And so that's the first 2 or 3 videos where I'm going to make the Shadow of the Colossus clone. And I'm really far. I'm just got so much planned, and I'm wanting to make like 2 videos every 3 months, something like that with the game development stuff. Maybe more, maybe less. We're gonna see how much it takes to make a fun video about game development. And the second thing I want to make is funny demo games based on the audience requests. So or some funny ideas that I had, like Mario Party in VR and this Find a Sasquatch game, things like that. That's what I'm going with the channel, in the game development channel. The first video is going to get out like in 2-3 weeks, so stay tuned. I'm going to remember this when the video got out. But the channel name is STTY'S channel, if you want to get it. STTY, little the thing, S, and channel. Okay.
The little thing.
Bluebell said, "Love Into the Radius."
Yeah,
Dwayne,
it's really cool so far, but it's punishingly difficult. It is a survival game at its core, and because of that, it is very, very difficult.
Dwayne, no, thank you, Dwayne. Dwayne really is loving what we are doing right here. He said, "You guys have no idea how much I'm loving this format and this show right now. I am 20 minutes into a Seahawks. Sorry, I don't know any.
Seattle Seahawks. It's a Washington sports team. And that's what they meant earlier when they said "Go Hawks."
Okay,
now we figured it out.
Yeah, and he's passing it up to what this. He said,
Awesome.
keep this format up. It is absolutely awesome. I love it, and I will tune in every time it's on. Thank you. That makes us really happy. Apollo can say it about himself.
Yeah, thanks.
We are just. That's it. Thanks. We're always trying to get better with this. I'm thinking about raising up the frequency of the podcast, but I don't know what Apollo is going to.
I'm not so sure about that.
Because I want it
3 times a week is a lot.
I want to make like 4 times, like 2 English and 2 Portuguese. That's what I was hoping for, increasing. But maybe in the future, I'm going to talk with Apollo about this. But we really love this, and we are really happy that you like this as well. Okay, you put a smile on my face. You need to know that.
Yeah.
So Jay,
Yeah,
what's the what?
I was gonna say, I think you gained several subscribers since the start of the stream too.
How much do I have now? I can see it.
328.
Yeah. We got 7. I think 7 subscribers. Thank you, guys. I think everyone subscribed. So, yeah, thank you. Really appreciate it. I want to get the 500 so I can make the YouTube community post.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And Jay, I got a question for you. What your prospects for the future of your channel?
So right now, for the Jay Bratt people who showed up here in the chat, you're gonna get a little preview to what's actually about to come out. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks. We are finishing up a really big video that's been a long time in the making. So last year when we hit 10K, I spent 10 straight days in VR.
Wow.
days, nights, sleeping, eating, going
Holy.
to the bathroom.
That's like a disrupt thing to do, like but more intense. But
Yeah, it was like that, but worse, and longer. And
yes,
John's been putting in many hours on the final video. Right now it's at about 28 minutes long. So we're trying to cut a little bit more, but it's almost like a dramatic documentary kind of style video. And so that should be coming out here in the next couple weeks.
I really love this kind of video. I really love this style of video, and I think that's one of my favorite types of video. This documentary stuff when someone just puts so much research or so much of himself into doing something, and then
Yeah.
getting it fully edited and like with a good soundtrack and stuff into one single video. And I don't mind the length of the video. I watch it all.
I like that.
I really don't
Yeah,
mind.
that's
mean,
one thing we always worry about. It's like, oh, are we making videos too long? Like people falling off, and that's something you can't worry about that. Make the video the way you want to make it and just get it out there. But I'm victim to that too. I sometimes worry about like, am I making too long? Do it need to be snappier, more cuts? But no, make it the way you feel is right.
Yeah, I mean, I for one don't I don't watch like 40-minute videos like as a whole. But if the video is good, I can always watch like a part like right now and then go back and watch the rest later.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's bad to do a long video. It's just the video needs to be good. As long as it's
Yeah.
good, that's what matters.
The one
Yeah,
say they are
depending-
not too long. They are not long enough.
Well, and as podcast people, we know that people will consume long content, but it
Yeah.
needs
Yeah.
to be in a format that they can use it. That's why we drop our podcast. It does way better on audio platforms because people use it in the car. They have it on while they clean their house.
Yes.
It's different than watching a video and sitting down and focusing. So
Yes, I
If-
wanted to drop the podcast on Spotify, but they don't get the monetization in Portuguese. In Brazil, I think I'm going to drop it on Spotify, but yeah. I just wanted to say.
yeah, you should do it. We got ours actually. We got ours on a lot of sites in the beginning, and one of them, this site Ghana, was a big new podcast streaming platform in India. And for a while, like half of our audience was in India, like right in the
right.
beginning too. It was like we were getting like 500 downloads a month only in India, which was really
Wow.
funny. Yeah.
That's nice. That's really nice. So Dwayne Zazinski, I think that's how you pronounce it. Said actually about to come out. What can we do to get you to 500? You can show up here more times and watch more things, and you can share it with
Yeah.
the people that you think are going to like it, and that's it. That's
Basically, just share it with your friends that you think will enjoy our content. So yeah.
you're going to help us big time because in the beginning, that's everything that matters, right?
Yeah.
And the fun, right? And the fun and everything that matters for we to grow as a channel is people that love our content, spreading it out to people that love our content, right?
Yeah,
Think-
sharing is the biggest thing. Liking, commenting, subscribing, all that helps tell YouTube, hey, this is a good video and to share it. But like to share it yourself, that is always huge with anything
Okay.
because, obviously make sure you do it in the right place. Don't just go post on some random Reddit subreddit. It's not, post to people who are going to like the content, but that is the biggest thing that helps channels grow is when people are really committed and like the channel, they help it find other people that it would have never reached.
Exactly. And hit me up after the podcast ends. I'm going to, as fast as possible, make something of a Patreon page and send it to you. And then as the time go on, I'm going to adjust it. But at least, I think I'm going to make a screen, like this screen, with every Patreon name. And if you got to be the first next week, just your name is going to be on the screen.
Just huge.
Just you. Huge, like Sap, we learn, and then your name. Okay?
Yeah.
And Jay, we are starting to get to the final moments of the podcast. We are at 1 hour and a half right now.
Nice.
And everyone, if you got any more questions to do to Jay, that's the time to do it, because in some minutes we're going to turn it off. Okay, so that's the time for the questions. I am just going to get into a chat with him for a little while, and then I'm going to check the chat for more questions. And okay, Jay, what's your experience with VRCHAT? I think that's the thing that I usually ask here, but I think that's something that's funny to ask because people have really weird experience with VRCHAT.
Yeah.
Well, it is funny because so when I first joined the podcast, it was from the very beginning. They were about to start it. Their idea was to have a VR podcast in VRCHAT using different locations and environments and stuff. And at that point, I had like not even been in VRCHAT yet. So like the host, the producer that was making it took me into VRCHAT, took me through some avatar worlds, helped me look around for an avatar that would be suitable for the podcast. And then, of course, we went to like the pug and just heard random people talking and all kinds of craziness. But I went through all of that experience. I didn't really get what I would call like the VRCHAT experience
Got it.
until way later when I tried to just go in and do something. And then, you ran into all of the horrible people and the terrible avatars that
Yeah.
that make some corners of VRCHAT what you really expect. But no, my first impressions of VRCHAT were actually really good and really positive. It actually took quite a while to find that negative environment that you expect to find right when you walk in. And I think that's a testament to the fact that VRCHAT isn't as bad as people think. It's just those people make it have a bad reputation overall. But I think VRChat's really cool. I think it's very capable, obviously, of how you can build things and what you can do. I've never really found the right crew of people to like spend my time in it and have fun with those
Yeah.
people. I usually do like rec room stuff that has games that we can play more. But I definitely understand why people love VRChat and do cool things in it.
I think if our social circle got more people on our social circle got VR headsets, we were going to spend a lot more time on VRChat.
Yeah.
A lot.
Like,
because-
I love the environment and the expressiveness, of like
Mhm.
being in VR and talking, and it has just so many cool stuff, in VRChat, so many cool worlds and stuff. But we just don't have enough people
Yeah.
to hang out,
Yeah. yeah, at the time it's just me and Apollo.
Yeah, it's basically just us.
Yeah, that's all of our friends that got VR.
You feel that way now, but soon you'll be meeting people from the podcast, and soon you'll have
Yeah.
too many people. It'll be the
Yeah,
opposite
it
problem.
happened last week with a guest, and now we're just talking with him a lot, right?
Yes. I was stretching.
But
He was doing it. I was doing it as well.
Stretching. I've been sitting in my chair for a while.
Yeah,
Good
it
to
happens.
stretch, right?
It happens. So I'm gonna read the questions and then we can finish it. So
All right.
Fora da Realidade said about why games and VR headsets are expensive in Brazil. Briefly speaking, the tax is high because everything that is related to games is considered gambling. This law was made in 1946.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that
Wow.
either.
Okay.
Yeah, that's news to me.
So
Wow, that's interesting.
yeah, that's where I really need to search it up after the podcast.
Yeah.
Jay Bratt, what is your most favorite game? Tonic asked. Your most favorite VR game?
I mean, I usually what I say is probably Beat Saber, just because that's the one I've spent the most time in. I used to play hours a day, several days a week. Beat Saber is an amazing VR game, and something that I really love. yes. But something that I love about Beat Saber though too is that it's a game that only works in VR. You can't make a flat version of it that's any good. Like Half-Life Alyx is an awesome game, but there could be a flat game that's similar enough that people would get the same kind of impressions of it. Beat Saber only works in VR, and because of that, it gets people to buy VR headsets.
Yeah,
Because there's no other way to do it, so it's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's the game that I spend the most time in. I'm not spending as much as I was in my first 7-8 months in VR, but sometimes I get into gaming with Beat Saber, yeah, and that's not what is happening to him. That's
yeah.
the difference of it.
Beat Saber is basically all I play in VR right now. So yeah,
Mhm.
I just play Beat Saber all day. Like not every day, not all day. I would die. Not healthy, but yeah, every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah,
It's
we
awesome.
got to schedule a podcast with the number one Beat Saber player in Brazil.
Number
Oh,
No. It is a schedule with QUER.
Yeah, but it's number 2.
He's number 2. He's not number
Not
1.
number 1. Number 1 is Emi.
He hadn't just get he just passed her, no?
No, he was third. He was third. He was now he's 2. If I'm correct, I might be wrong, but
probably I'm
last
wrong.
time I
Probably
last
I'm
time
wrong.
last time I saw he was number 2 in
So,
the ranking.
Number
But
2.
like, I mean, in rankings, because he has the top plays with a lot of PP. So yeah, he's very good.
he plays with a lot of PP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can. You can say he played a lot of PP.
So, Dwayne Zazelski as I am a diehard Seahawks fan. You guys really need to know that you're keeping me in this chat and being disloyal to my team. I hope that means something to you. That means everything to us.
That means a lot. You have no idea.
You have no idea. And he
Love
said, yeah, Jay Bratt, you're absolutely awesome for doing this interview with these guys. I absolutely loved every second of it. And we say the same. We really,
Yeah.
really appreciate your presence here. I really hope you enjoyed the conversation in here and the things here. Today we got loads of chat interaction.
Yeah,
So,
I love it too. Obviously, anytime I can sit down with fellow VR lovers and talk about it is always fun. That's why I always say yes to a VR podcast. You know, one of these days I'm going to get somebody that invites me to a podcast that hates VR, and I won't know that's coming. But if they like VR, then of course it's going to be a fun time. But I would love to sit down and talk to a VR hater too. To be honest with you, I
that
think
would
that'd
be
really
nice.
cool.
That would be nice. I need a VR hater right here as well.
Yeah, it would be a fun experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Drop that draw strike." I didn't get it.
That's a game. Drop Dead is a VR game. Dual Strike, I want to say, is the newer version. I actually haven't played it, but if it's the game I'm thinking of, I haven't played the new one. It's like zombies are coming. It's a wave shooter. But what I think they did with it at one of the gaming conventions, they built a big environment, and everybody on quests could walk around and actually be physically walking and shooting. But the other really cool thing was spectators. They gave them an iPad, and they could hold this
What?
iPad and physically turn and see like a window into the world of the
Whoa.
game with this
Whoa.
iPad that was watching. And I was like, we need more of that. And
That's
we need
really
that.
nice.
We need that.
That's really
because
nice.
that is so cool.
That is really, really cool. That's really, really cool. And Dwayne said, one of the cheapest and crappiest games I've ever bought on VR, but the most fun ever. That's Drop Dead Dual Strike.
Drop Dead Dual Strike. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's not the most advanced game in the world, but it looks like it can be really fun. But that way they set it up like that, I bet if you play it like that, it'd feel like a whole different game. Like that would feel
Yeah,
incredible.
probably.
Yes, absolutely. And Tonic said, last one from me. Can it get boring sometimes playing VR?
If you play Squingle,
I
Oh,
have an
gosh.
answer for this, but you can answer it first.
I hope. Well, it's Squingle, the game I mentioned earlier.
No,
that
yeah,
I
yeah.
told the developer I didn't like it. I hope he doesn't find this podcast. But Squingle. I had to like force myself to play the game because
Yeah,
I was
he's
going
not
to
gonna
interview him,
find
you
it.
know. And I had to force myself through it and like keep playing levels and keep going just so I could talk to him about it. And I was just every moment of it, I was like, this is
Yeah.
a chore. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, he's not gonna find it unless we invited him to the podcast. So that Yeah. But yeah,
But
my
yeah,
answer. Okay, you can answer.
I,
I'm go
I, I
last.
was
I'm go
just
last.
uh, okay. I was just gonna say that I think anything can get boring. Like even something you love, you do it a lot of times, like for extensive periods of time, it will get boring if you don't take breaks and do it in a healthy way, so to speak. Yeah, everything can get boring.
Yeah, that's what I basically what I was going to say, that every type of gaming or activity can be boring sometimes, and sometimes if you're not a content creator, your VR headset is just going to be locked in your closet for 1 month or so. But that's what happens to gaming as well.
Yeah,
So VR gaming is a completely new kind of experience from everything that you have ever done, and that's what is exciting, and it is new to everyone developing to it as well. So we don't get many games as we get to flat screen, but the experience is worth it. And even if you are going to get bored from it once in a while, you are going to get back to it, and your love is going to be back to it. So I think that's the thing, that it is going to get boring, but you're going to get to love it again after
yeah,
it, right?
it's normal. You get sick of playing the same thing all the time, but you just take a week, 2 weeks of break, and you'll be back to it. It's
Okay,
normal.
Dwayne has a different opinion. He said, "No, VR never gets boring."
Okay. So if
Okay,
if if he's saying that's the truth,
that's the
everything
truth.
I said
So
was wrong.
yeah, VR never gets boring.
VR never gets boring.
Thank you, Dwayne. You enlightened me.
There's a game called Desert Bus VR. Yeah, you should try it, Dwayne. It's
That's the game that you. No.
I,
I
I
forgot.
I've heard about it, I think.
you just drive a bus through the desert for
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Yeah,
I've
and
heard
then you get
about
back,
it.
right? And then you get back. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
You got some hours to go, and then you forgot something. Then you get to get back, and then you need to go again. That's the game, right? I think that's the game.
Yeah. I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. Next podcast, it is going to be entirely Desert Birds VR. Okay. Okay. Let me get through the chat, because if we don't get any more questions, we can end it. I remember. No. Okay. I have to head out. Thank you, guys. Take care, chat. Bye, Bluebell. Thank you for being here. And he said, Jay, I'm so glad you did this interview.
me too.
I'm going to say something that some podcasters in Brazil say, and that's, I believe it's correct for our format as well. This is not an interview. This is just a conversation, okay?
Yep.
Right? So I'm not with scripted questions to him or something like that. So I never say I'm going to interview someone. I'm just saying I'm going
Yeah,
to
we're
talk
just
with
talking.
someone. So yeah, that's the
I
format
mean,
here.
if it is an interview, it is as much as an interview for us as it is to him, his
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
Okay, next. That's the glory of VR. It's always new, always fresh, and always awesome. Yeah, I think currently it is. Some time back, VR didn't got news every month. We didn't got games every month, but actually currently that's true, right?
It's much better now. I was in VR at the time when like it was news if anything was coming out, and I would just buy. I was working so much back then, but I would buy everything that came out on PSVR because it was like you were buying like 2 games, 3 games a month, and I would just buy them all.
Yeah.
Now you can't do that. There's too many.
If you happen to get bored in VR, you're just playing the wrong games. That's possible. I think that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, you won't get bored of VR entirely, I think. You just get bored of some games. That's what
Yes.
happens.
That's
But
really what happens.
you don't get bored of a PC, You get bored of using the PC to do something specific. So yeah.
And Okay, Tony said he remembered the first time he played VR in the Meta Quest, and it was on a friend's Quest 2, and he enjoyed it so much. His first game was Beat Saber, and he is so excited to get the Quest 2. You should be excited. It is awesome. It is really awesome. And
Play Beat
let's
Saber, man.
not forget that there are a lot of crappy VR games. With that said, there are a lot of very awesome VR games, and that's also true. Sonic said, I feel like playing Beat Saber as my first game was my Destiny?
Destiny?
Destiny, yeah.
Yeah,
Misspelled.
probably misspelled. Yeah.
Okay, to have Beat Saber. Okay, I that's what I felt as well. I don't know how the hell you pulled this Avatar interview, but I absolutely freaking love it. He's saying it a lot, so thank you. Duan. That's let's not forget the fact that VR games seem to be very inexpensive and are cheap. And if you don't like them so much, you have a few days to return them. That's
Yeah.
true.
It's
That's true.
true for the US, right?
Yeah, because on Steam it is true for us
Yeah,
as well.
on Steam, the games that are on Steam are actually very cheap, but the Oculus Store ones, they are in dollar, and we have to pay a lot more for them. So
Oh
yeah,
no.
Because
those ones
usually
are not-
we got like regional price. So Half-Life Alyx I think is $40, right?
Yeah. I
In
think
Steam
so.
we got it for 100 reais, and that's really okay. But if
yeah, that's a nice price.
if we got to pay it in dollar, it was going to be like double the price, like triple the price, maybe,
Yeah.
because of the taxes and the conversion and stuff. So yeah, you got something more to say, Jay?
I want to say thank you. I've really had fun being here. I love getting back in VRCHAT. This reminds me of the early days of our podcast and takes me back. So I enjoyed doing that. I didn't enjoy the technical difficulty side, but it is really fun to just like sit in a VRChat world and talk. It feels so much more like
Yes.
we're really hanging out
can-
than
we
like
can-
looking at a
We
webcam.
can touch each other, and you're like in a different country, and that's
I
what.
can't go more than that.
Yeah, we're a long ways from each other, but it really feels like you're just hanging out, which is what's really cool about VR. I love it.
Yeah.
So okay, again, thank you for being here. Thank you for accepting the invite. It was really fun. And now we're going to our standard ending stuff.
Yes.
How does this go? Apollo,
So,
you're gonna say it.
What? Oh yeah, I'll explain it to you. So here we have a sort of a tradition, you know. The way we finish the conversation is I'll just keep talking to you, like I'll just keep talking, and sometime in the future he's going